NC State volleyball coach Bryan Bunn just went through his fourth spring practice with his team. 6 weeks of individual training and team training and all the things that you did. Just talk a little bit about what you gained out of the spring.
We're starting to establish a new identity this spring with the loss of our setter who started us for 3 years. But both of our setters that are going to be in the fall are here this spring, which is nice. So we're starting to develop an identity with them. We're working a lot on them getting the balls to the middle in transition. We worked on our serve receive as a team. So those are the things we're kind of focusing on, and there was a lot of progress this spring.
Sophomore Tana Aljo and then freshman Maggie Speaks are the two setters you were talking of. Talk a little bit about what you saw in what they both do well, how they're different, and how the team responds to them.
They get along well with the team, and that's great. Like I said, it's very important to have them here this spring, so that they had these 3.5 months to get gel with everybody. They both bring a little different skill set. Maggie's a very good blocker, is a little more physical than Tana. Tana's fast. She got a good touch. She's played at a very high level. She's won a couple of open national championships, with club, and already has a season of college under her belt. So she brings a little more experience than Maggie does. Maggie's still technically a senior in high school.
Right. Talk a little bit about the development of your veterans and what they are going through with Darian and Rachel and Bree and Meredith, all the players that you kind of knew what to expect but wanted to see grow a little bit.
There was some good growth. Rachel Buckley had a tremendous spring. She really stepped into a leadership role. She started playing some back row for us and has just embraced that. She PR'd on all of her lifts and conditioning testing this past week, so she's done fantastic. Nikki has also done a very good job of taking care of the ball on the outside. She had her highest kill percentage of her career this spring and the highest attack percentage. She passed a 2.25. So she just had a fantastic spring and is really engaged in what we were doing this spring. So those two were probably the best in terms of their development this spring.
You have all the veterans up front. You have some veterans in the back, but talk a little bit about Austin and what you're expecting from your back row players.
Austin really improved with her serve receive this spring. She passed a 2.25, I think, for the whole spring, which is really good, and that's where her focus was. She served the ball tough. She was one of our 2 DSs this year. Katie Gannon came a long way in terms of her being a good leader for us and playing a specific role. She's a very good server, and her passing has come a long way. We have 2 freshmen coming in that we're going to rely on in the back row as well.
You talked a little bit about Maggie being here and Tana being here and having some of your freshmen or newcomers early. How much did they grow and just absorb what you were trying to teach?
Lindsay was another girl that graduated in December and enrolled in January, so she's technically still a high school senior, but improved dramatically in the weight room. I mean, she improved her approach jump by 2 inches. All of her lifts are up significant percentages. She's come a long way in the gym too. She came from a small high school, so the speed of the game was a little faster than she was used to, and she's still adjusting to that. But that's one of the reasons she came in the spring.
What have you set as your expectations for your team through the summer before you gather again in the fall to begin preparations for the 2013 season?
Our strength and conditioning coach has given them their workouts for the spring. We have goals set for them that they need to achieve when they come back in terms of fitness and strength, so that they're prepared to start training again when we start as a team in August. They're all going to be here July 1 for summer 2, so they'll have open gyms and be able to work with Gabe then. But our expectations are high. We've taken some good steps. This year, we want to take another step. We want to be at the top of the conference, and that's our goal. We want to go back to the NCAA tournament and doing a lot of leadership training so that we can have the right people in those roles.
Your first 3 seasons here, people talked a lot about where the program has come, and there were some surprises along the way, and people started paying attention. It's a little bit of a different role now when people start expecting success. How do you handle that, and what are you teaching in those leadership training exercises?
One of the things that we're doing with our leaders is how to set a high standard and maintain that high standard. This past 3 years, we've come a long way. Now the girls can't expect that to just happen. They have to continue to work, and we talked about that on a daily basis. We just have to put forth the effort every day in the spring to get back to where we were, because it's easier to climb somewhere than it is to stay in that position. And it wasn't an easy journey by any stretch of the imagination, but we're not where we want to be either. So it's just about working hard every day. Our number one goal is to outwork our opponents, and that's something we're going to focus on every minute, every day we practice.
Thanks a lot, Coach. I appreciate the time.